There are two scenarios in my job that are the most difficult to deal with, especially when it comes to testing vehicles like snowmobiles. The first one is when there's nothing that I like about a snowmobile, that everything just seems wrong. And the second one is that there's nothing that I don't like about a snowmobile and everything just seems right. And this 2024 Skidoo MXZ XRS 850 E-TEC Turbo R is pretty darn close to the second one. Obviously by now this sled is no secret, everybody knows all about it. My walk around video got pushing 70,000 views, maybe more by the time you guys see this. So this is no secret. However, it can't be understated how important this sled is in the industry and just how awesome it actually is. The more I ride it, the more I like it. The more I ride it, the more things I find to like about it. The 24 Skidoo 850 Turbo comes just in one package. There are no options, and this is it. It comes in the XRS Competition Package with the 10-inch display. You cannot get smart shocks. This is what you get. With that said, this sled has all kinds of awesome upgrades and features that make it a really, really wicked ride on the snow. But the first thing I want to talk about is obviously the most important of all of those things, and that is the engine. This 850 E-TEC isn't your normal E-TEC. There's a lot going on under the hood. The boost numbers they're running are slightly lower only because you're riding the sled at sea level. It's tuned and has been set up to run at sea level. Skidoo has done a stellar job with this motor of making it extremely livable for slow rides, for fast rides, lake days, trail days, corner to corner, you name it. Anything you want to do, this motor's up for the task. It's no secret that I'm not crazy about how your average Skidoo handles. They're getting better, but they're still not where I think they should be in terms of cornering through bumps and just general stability. With that said, this is the best handling Skidoo I think I've ever ridden. This sled handles bumps in the corners really well. It stays stuck to the ground. It steers even in loose conditions. It doesn't push. It's just got all kinds of really great handling characteristics that I've been waiting for on a Skidoo. Why does it work on this sled? So if you follow me down here, I think the secret is actually in the suspension. The R motion on this sled has the competition package installed on it, which means it has a bunch of stiffening plates, it has solid rear wheels, it's got a bunch of extra stuff, but none of that stuff actually, in my opinion, makes it handle any different. That stuff can't affect the handling. It's when you come up front that it changes things. These front shocks are KYB Pro 40s. So this is the largest diameter shock shaft you can get on a Skidoo snowmobile, and it is beefy, let me tell you. This one with Pro 40s handles better than any of the other sleds in Skidoo's lineup. So we're starting to wonder if maybe the larger capacity shock with the larger shock shaft gives it some better tuning abilities or whatever it is. There's something going on there that makes these sleds handle better because the Pro 40 equipped MXZ XRS handles better than the Pro 36 equipped XRS. I can't tell you exactly why that is. All I can say is that in terms of Skidoo snowmobiles, this one handles the best. The front end works better through the bumps in the corners than any other Skidoo I've ridden. And of course, R motion out back rides just as good as R motion always does. It's just that you can pound this one harder without worrying about breaking it. Now, unless you've been living under a rock and you have no idea what this sled is, you probably already know that the Turbo Skidoo comes with this methanol injection system. So what it is this tank holds a special mixture of methanol and water, and it is injected into the intake track after long periods of full throttle pulls, and the reason they do it is to help keep the intake air charge cool. The methanol water mixture is burned off inside the cylinder, so it doesn't affect performance in any way, other than it keeps the intake air temperatures cool, which means you can maintain your 180 horsepower, which is what this engine makes, for extended periods of time. This mixture that XPS has come up with for this system is not like anything else on the market. XPS has come up with their own special blend of methanol and water with a special additive that stops foaming, and if you use anything else, the system isn't going to work right. So just use the right stuff. Not only is this the best handling Skidoo snowmobile I've ever ridden, it's also the best braking Skidoo snowmobile I've ever ridden. There's no secret that I haven't liked Skidoo brakes for many years. However, Skidoo has fixed that problem this season with a new Brembo braking setup. What you're seeing down here is a 4-piston caliper. Now that's kind of a first in the industry, and man does it work good, but that's not the only upgrade. Also on the bars, you've got a new master cylinder and a new adjustable brake lever, and this whole system working together, it is just a wild improvement over the last version of Skidoo's braking, and I gotta say, after putting many miles on this thing, I absolutely love it. It works great, and now I can't complain about Skidoo brakes anymore. There's a whole bunch of tricks hidden inside this sled, mostly related to the engine that you don't see when you first look at it. The first one is launch control. And Ski-Doo did this on their Ace 900 Turbo R last season, and everybody loved it. To be perfectly honest, I don't see it as a very useful feature. I don't think it actually makes you accelerate faster, but that doesn't matter at all because it is an awesome feature that's fun to use, it sounds good, and of course all your buddies will be jealous that you have it and they don't. The other piece of technology that is on this sled is something that Ski-Doo has hesitated to use or resisted using on their trail sleds for years now, and that is shot starting. Now, there's a reason why they use it on this sled, and the reason is this. This 850 Turbo weighs the same as a naturally aspirated 850 Ski-Doo XRS with electric start. So this one has electric start using shot, but it doesn't require a battery, it doesn't require a starter motor, all of those heavy components. That's a pretty impressive feat of engineering to use those systems to make this sled super lightweight and not really give you any penalties for having a turbo. While it is true that Ski-Doo wasn't the first to bring a two-stroke turbo to the trail market, the question will always be, did they do it better when they finally released this one? And that question remains to be answered. With that said though, they've done an excellent job. I have very little to complain about this sled. I like almost everything about it. And that's interesting because I haven't been able to say that about a Ski-Doo for many years. I think if you're the kind of person who wants that ultimate horsepower and appreciates very precise refinement and build quality, then this is a sled you should seriously look at.